Hello all and welcome to bspsolutions.com. My name is Amit and we are starting understanding about workforce planning. In today's session I'm going to talk about how do you calculate FTE in workforce planning. Okay. So start with the basic. Many of you are not familiar with what is FTE. FTE is called full-time equivalent and it is a measurement of calculating working hours. Okay, and FT is an equivalent of one person working full time. The formula is fairly simple. If you look at over here, so we identify 8 hours per day for 5 days in a week for 52 weeks in a year. Total working hours would be 2080 hours per year. So if you like to calculate in terms of FT, if one person work full time, this is consists of it is called 1 FTE. Okay. If two people are working for 4 hours per day and 5 days in a week, it is calculated as 1 FTE, 5 days per week. Okay. So in workforce planning, FT is required by your stakeholder, it is required by HR manager to perform and calculate different kind of expenses. Likewise, in this example, the FT being used to identify uh, department by department or different department across different year how many full-time FTE they have full-time equivalent. Okay. So your finance team would also like to know that what is the expenses associated with FTE related to the salary, compensation, benefit. In workforce planning, you also like to know the current expenses, historical and future trend for FTE as well. So in order to understand the logic behind calculating FTE, first we understand what smart view associate with this. Okay, there are two smart view used in workforce planning to calculate FTE. One is called status smart list and one other one is called employee type. So as you see here, the status smart list has got 9 value and is defined a different status of the employee. Start from active, departed, disabled, leave, maternity leave, and so on. So in order to calculate FTE, the employee status should not be one of them. Neither he should have departed, nor he should have resigned and transfer out. So we calculate FTE provided that employee does not fall in any one of this category. In addition to this, in workforce planning, there are three kind of employee type. One is called regular, contractor, and temporary. Actually, you can see this smartly as a corresponding value when you log into Workspace and you log into your workforce planning application. So I already logged into my workforce planning application. Under manage, I can see smart list. Two smart lists are being used. Status. So these are different value of my status. Active, departed, disability, and so on. And the second one is employee type. So if you look at a manage smart list called employee type. So there are three type of employees being used in the calculation: contractor, temporary, and regular. These are two smart lists will be used in order to perform the calculation. Once you calculate FTE, actually you can check the FTE under your data form called headcount and FTE. So you go to this data form, you can see number of FTE across your different employee type like regular, contractor, temporary, and other. This is your FTE. The numbers are being used, the number which you see over here, this is according to different job type. Okay. You can also make a request for new FTE under new hire request. On new hire request data form, you right click and you have new hiring request. Your hiring request can be salary based and hourly based. For example, I invoke hourly based. Business rule data form prompt appears with different values. The value which we need over here is the employee type, and FTE. So FTE value would be 0 to 1. Okay, if I give a value 2, it won't accept. It has to be 0 to 1, full-time equivalent. Okay. So once we input the value and run the data form, business rule, you can see the FTE count appears under head count and FTE. So let's talk about the actual business logic and calculation used in it. So this is my formula. Okay. I also like to show this formula and the hierarchy in S-base context. If you look at S-base outline, you find over there you have got under account, system member, workforce planning member, and then we have certain assumptions. Right? We assumption called workforce planning assumption, and then we have some drivers. Under assumption, I have a member over here called FT, and the time balance property is considered as the average. Okay, so this is not going to add up to the parent; it is going to be an average. And total FT in turn has got 4 children: regular, contractor, temporary, and other. Okay, um, so this is would be a under workforce planning assumption. Now see the numbers which you're seeing over here. How does it come? So there are three step. Uh, we use three if condition statement. If the scenario dimension UDA property is actual, so check the scenario UDA is actual. The first condition. I'm trying to show over here with the indentation. So I use the is UDA function which return true and false, or the department is general. Check the department general. So actually the idea over here, you load first to a department general, and then you can do a transfer out. And then we check the employee status. You see employee status 1 means regular. So when you're calculating FTE, regular FTE, the employee status has to be 1. Then in turn you check if the employee status should not be, if employee status is not equal to 2, 7 and 9, which means employee should not resign, transfer out and depart. Employee status should not be any one of them, or the status should not be missing. It shouldn't be empty. If this is a condition, FT is being returned, which is your dimension member under your account dimension. So FT is being used return. So it is used as a counter variable to calculate the value. Okay. We calculate FT provided that these criteria meet. Otherwise, it return hash missing. The example I use for contract or regular FT. The business logic we use to calculate uh, contractor FTE is also exactly same. We first check the scenario is equal UDA properties actual, department in general. The employee status changes from regular to contractor, and employee um, status type, sorry, employee type to contractor. Employee status should not be any one of them, neither resign, transfer out, or departed. And then we calculate FT. In a similar fashion, we calculate uh, temporary FT and other FT. Temporary FT calculation logic also remains same, except the status employee type changed to 3, disability, sorry, temporary. And finally, the fourth category of employees, your um, other FT. Okay, where other FT, if employee status is other than 3 or greater than 3, sometime we don't apply any validation rule. If employee status is greater than 3, it is considered as other FTE. So you use how prudently smart list is used to input value, and based upon a smart list value, we calculate FTE. So that's it for today. Do watch the second part of the video, calculating headcount. The final output you can see under your headcount report. When you log into your workspace, under your workforce planning, you can invoke your headcount and FT report, where you can see the employee type and the respective headcount. Okay, you need to refresh it, and you can see the headcount value, the one I shown you. So that's it for today. Should you have any question, please feel free to us and write to us under bispsolutions.com. Thank you.